That the Prophet ﷺ, he once asked his Sahabi that would you love your own money more or would you love the money of your inheritors? And for us to understand this, what the Prophet ﷺ is basically saying to his companions is that would you love the money that you have acquired under your own control more, or would you have an adoration for the money of somebody else, somebody that perhaps is not you, left behind after your passing? And the Sahabi say, Ya Rasulullah, we would love our wealth more. And the Prophet ﷺ, he says that your wealth is that which you would spend in charity, and the wealth that you leave behind, that is the wealth of your inheritors. And so what are we doing with our money? What are we doing with our wealth? What are we doing with the sustenance, the livelihood that has been prescribed to us? What are the things that we are doing with these things? There's so much emphasis is put on providing for others when we are in a place to provide for them, that the Prophet ﷺ has said, even if a man was to put a morsel of food into his wife's mouth, there is a great blessing even in that. But we become so stingy in giving to others. We think first and foremost, how will we be affected if we were to give away these kind of things, before thinking that how would we be able to go out and help those who are around us that might not have what we have. Take advantage of your richness before you find yourself in poverty. This is what the Prophet ﷺ is teaching. That you are not going to be able to carry it with you beyond this world. You are not going to be able to take it with you after you go into the grave. That there are only certain things that you can do with your wealth. It would make the utmost of sense for you to invest it in a manner that you would actually benefit from it after you leave this dunya and you go on to a place where you're going to be measured according to the way that you practice your deen. And so you take advantage of your richness before you hit poverty. So said the Prophet ﷺ when he is speaking to this man. Thereafter he tells him that take advantage of your free time before you become busy. That when you have been given the opportunity to do certain things with the time that has been given to you, take advantage of these things, because you will have a time in which you will not be able to undertake certain actions because there is going to be so much else going around you. That in another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he says that there are two things that people don't realize that they have been blessed with. One is their good health, and the other is the free time that has been given to them. That we forget it on a regular basis, that when we have the health and the strength and the fortitude to go out and carry on an abundance of actions, and thereafter we've been blessed with the opportunity and the time to actually perform these things, we don't really do it. Hours upon hours we spend engaging in all kinds of idle activity. Hours upon hours we spend going out and doing things that serve no real benefit. And we can say that yes, we need to have time for enjoyment. Yes, we need to have time for laughter. Yes, we need to have time to engage in all kinds of things that would bring us some kind of peace of mind. But it can't be at the expense of not doing anything else. 5 minutes a day we can spend reading the book of Allah. There would be a great benefit in it for us. That the Prophet ﷺ says that each letter that you recite, there is a reward in it for you. 10 rewards are in it for you. And he says that alif lam mim is not a haraf, but alfun haraf, lamun haraf, and mimun haraf. That each one of them distinctly is a letter that you can say. In 5 minutes, how much of a recitation could you do? And on a daily basis, if you do it, can you think of how this would benefit you? And it's not even beyond our grasp. This is something that is tangible for all of us. We are not necessarily shuyukh or scholars, but it doesn't mean that we don't have access to the book of Allah and we can't read it and still derive benefit from it. That Allah Azza wa Jal, He even takes oath by this concept of time, saying wala asr, taking oath by this concept of time. And when the scholars, there was a scholar in the time of Baghdad who was trying to think of why is Allah Azza wa Jal taking an oath by this thing of time. That He has taken oath by so many things of His creation, but why is He sanctifying this thing of time? Why is He giving it elevation? Why is He giving Him recognition? And it said that when he walks through the marketplace, he comes upon a man who is selling a block of ice, chipping it away under the blazing Basra sun, trying to tell the people, come and purchase the ice before it melts away. And thereafter the man says, now I know why Allah Azza wa Jal is taking oath by the time. That just as this man is calling the people to purchase the ice as he chips away at it, is melting drop after drop after drop, so too Allah Azza wa Jal is telling us of the importance of our time, because surely and with most certainty our lives are getting shorter and shorter, and with each second that's dropping away, similar to the water that's dropping off this block of ice, so too we are going to find ourselves in a place where we are left with nothing at the end of our time. And so we have to begin to utilize it in the best of ways. We have to begin to utilize it in the best of manners. It has been given to us as a ni'mah, just like any other blessing, and if we mistreat it, it will surely be taken away from us. Take advantage of your free time before you are made busy. And then lastly, the Prophet ﷺ, he tells this man, take advantage of your life before you meet death. And it might be a thought that we would consider to be quite morbid, but most assuredly Allah Azza wa Jal has told us that every soul shall taste death. And we have no idea when that time will come. We have no idea or understanding when that exact moment will be. We don't know when the angel of death is going to come to speak to the likes of you and I, to take our souls away from us and take us to a place where we will be in the grave, thereafter resurrected and taken into account for all of our actions. That the Prophet ﷺ, he has said, "Man mata ala shay bu'ithat alayh," that whosoever dies upon a thing will be resurrected upon that thing. What is the action that we will meet our Rabb on? How are we spending our time with the understanding that at any given moment, at any given second, the angel will come to us, and that is the action that we will meet Allah Azza wa Jalla upon? That do we want to be the person who's sitting and watching something on a computer screen that we shouldn't be watching? And that is when the angel of death will come to us. That do we want to be that person when the time for prayer comes, when the time for salah comes, and we are willfully and purposely leaving it behind? And the Prophet ﷺ has said that the one who does that is in a state of disbelief, is in a state of kufr. And Imam Shafi rahimahullah, he rectifies this and reconciles this, saying that that person is not necessarily outside of the fold of Islam, but at that given point in time, he is in a state of disbelief. What if that is the state in which the angel of death comes to take us away? That we have slept through the Fajr prayer because I like the warmth of my bed in the coldness of the winter. But what if we never wake up from that slumber? We want to meet Allah Azza wa Jal with that on our record. Take advantage of your life before you will meet death. This was the last thing the Prophet ﷺ told that man. And so we would see that yes, these are 5 counsels that the Prophet ﷺ has given to this person when he is seeking his advice. And as we have mentioned before, when we have talked of topics that are similar unto this, the Prophet ﷺ, he is speaking with a certain clarity while still maintaining a certain generality, so that the likes of you and I can still implement these things into the course of our lives. We have to become those people who take advantage of our youthfulness while we still have it in our possession. We have to understand that the physical blessings that we have been given in terms of our health is not something that we should take for granted, because there are people all over the world who don't even have clean water to drink or food to eat, and they would kill to have what we have. That we have to understand that yes, we have been found to be in a place where we have an abundance of wealth. That we are not being tested and tried where we have to come to our homes and tell our families that tonight there is no food for you to eat. Just go home, just go to sleep hungry. That we have to ensure for ourselves that yes, we might spend our times in a 9 to 5, but then we still have a 5 to 9 for the rest of the day, where we can be spending a portion of that free time in engaging our lives for Allah Azza wa Jal's sake. Even the work that we're doing on a regular basis, we can do that for the sake of Allah, and this will then in turn into an act of worship. And lastly, all of us have to understand and know that no matter how great we are, no matter what we've been given in terms of a social status in this world is but temporary. And so the Prophet ﷺ has told us to live as a traveler, because when we leave from this dunya, we are just going to go to another phase of our life in the grave, and thereafter we will stand on the day of reckoning, the day of accountment, and inshallah ta'ala, Allah Azza wa Jal from there in His infinite mercy will forgive us for our shortcomings and allow us entrance into Jannah without any judgment. But we would have to make that determination here and now. It is something that we have to think about while we have the time to do so. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us and protect us. May He bless us with knowledge that benefits us. May He bless us with the tawfiq to understand and implement that knowledge into our daily lives. And may He guide and bless us all. Wallahu ta'ala alam wa billahi tawfiq. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoy the program. The Islamic Center at New York University seeks to serve as a resource for all people. Free programs such as this one are made possible through the generous donations of listeners like you. We need your prayers and financial support as we aspire to establish the next generation of Islam in America. Please visit us online at ICNYU.org.